This is SPY on the 5-minute time frame. Here are your price targets for Wednesday. We ended the day at $642.69, up 1.06%. To the north side takes us to 2 standard deviations, and that is roughly 645.31. Above that, at another level of resistance and a potential take profit area, 646.79. And should we be so lucky as to get to 4 standard deviations, that would be roughly 648.45. To the south side, the middle of the trend, the baseline, will be roughly 642.17. That is one level of support, and we could bounce off this line or grind sideways for some consolidation. To the south side of that takes us to -2 standard deviations and another level of support and a potential buy-in area and a potential stop limit area or stop loss area. Depends on what side of the line you bought. 639.07, another dip by 637.46, and roughly 635.85. And looking left, this gap opened up on Tuesday the 12th, and that will take us down to 635.96. Note when we hit this level, that was the day before on Monday, we opened up, we hit resistance, sold off, bounced back again, and then we're basically grinding along this middle of the trend line. And up here, we sold off, that's resistance. Oh, and we do have a gap to the south side to be aware of as well. That will take us down to roughly 632.33. Just clean that up ever so slightly. That gap closed, and this gap to the north side closed out on Monday the 4th. In an anticipated move to the upside. Oh, and we have a gap here as well to watch out for, a landmine to the south side whenever we reverse course, and we will. This is a pullback area, and that will take us to roughly 622.43. It will start at roughly 625.51, so watch out for that. And this gap also closed to the downside on Friday the 1st. No longer in play. I will delete that. And what about this one? This gap touched on Thursday the 31st roughly. I have not looked at SPY in a very long time. Delete. Oh, up here. Okay, and there, that gap closed. Let's take a look at this very quickly on the 5, then I will move on. All right, many gaps to the south side, many landmines to watch out for. So on the daily, the RSI is turning up. We are not overextended just yet, getting closer. However, 642.69 is right here. So one leg up will take us to 655.99, and then back to the middle of the trend down here is 608.92 for a pullback. Many levels of support and resistance in between. And then this will take us down to, let me make sure I line this up properly. That will take us to 561.86 at close out these gaps. All right, that is it. Now that's SPY. I also broke it out. This is the actual, all the tickers within SPY that I am tracking, but here's just the ETF. And the next one I want to go over is Ftnt, Ftnt. Trader Murat sent me a message, and I'm looking at it right now today on Tuesday. But on Monday, he mentioned his updates. He thinks this symbol, this company, is a dip buy at this moment, as well as Panw. I'll go over that quickly too later. But take the profits and run, he says. These are speculative ideas, and I appreciate you giving me your thoughts on it, because then it makes me go back and look at it, because oftentimes I don't look at it for a very long time once I've marked it out. All right, the middle of the trend, resistance, let me just delete that. That will take us to 111. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just do one thing. This is the daily. Oops, I'm on the wrong thing. So on the daily right here, sorry, 94.86. Okay, resistance, 85.98. Resistance, 94.69. Resistance, 112.61. And at 2 standard deviations, 130.02. That's big picture. And the 1-year price target is 91.85. So that would take us between here and between -2 and the middle of the trend. 91, yeah, lots of upside potential here. 91. Oh wait, I keep putting this on the wrong thing. So here, 85, 90, whatever, and 94. So 91 is right about there. And that's resistance. And we've got a gap here, and I'll look at that in a moment. But on the daily, this is what we're looking at. Now, it's been a while since I've looked at this. What happened here? So this gap is still in play. That's a dip buy there. And note the resistance and sell-off. Resistance, sell-off. This is a bounce at support. This is a bounce here, a buy signal. Okay, and what happened? Gap closure. Murat already talked about this with me when it was 58.88. Now that was an opportunity buy. And this one is still in play, but this one is closed out. It's been such a long time that I need to delete this because that's already filled. Okay. All right. And look at this. We've passed the point that's oversold, and now we're starting to turn up. So that's nice. You're going to get different buy and sell signals. I like to troll on the monthly. And on the monthly, it looks like we're still going down. So we could have more dip buy opportunities. But today on the 5, the ticker did run. See, when you mark this out on different time frames, it makes my graph wonky. That's why I partly do not like to go backwards anymore and look at this, because you got to reset everything. It never used to be that way. And when they changed it for the better, quote unquote better, the enemy of good is better sometimes, and it made it worse. So now this needs to be changed to red, from red to green. That will take us to roughly, oops, not that. $96.52, surpassing this target here, but the next leg up after that is 120. Very nice. All right. Let's move that. Yeah, he talked about the dip on Monday night. On Tuesday, we already ran. The whole market ran today. It's great. Okay, that's Ftnt. And now let's do, very quickly, I'm going to do the wacky pataki here. This is Grwg. I accidentally got stopped out of this one today. Oh, this is not the right. GRWG is the one I have. Okay, I accidentally got sold out because Monday night I did not update my sell target because I had no idea that it was going to explode to the north side, and it went beyond the 2 standard and 3 standard deviations that I typically set it for. from the previous night. So what happened here? The pot stocks have been running because there's talk that Trump is going to reclassify these drugs. Okay, 149. I'm going to give you price targets first. 161, 169, 177, 146, 130, 122, and 114. This is resistance, resistance, resistance. Take your profits and run up here and here and here if you're trying to lock in. I can't be mad at myself because I did make money. Okay, to the south side, 130, did I already say this? 122, 114, but we've got a gap closure all the way down here for a pullback, as well as here for another pullback. And here's resistance and a sell-off back down to support, and then grinding along here. And now we're going sideways. Okay, I bought some on Wednesday the 16th for a pullback. That was, 82 cents was the 52-week low, so I did not get it that low. And then it ran, and had I, reset my sell order, my sell limit, darn it, I could have captured another 20% return. Instead, I only received a 32% return. Still not too shabby. All right, I also almost sold out at MSOS when we hit $5.11, and I didn't take profits then because the day before I was inching along trying to get out, but it never hit my target, and so I just let it ride. So watch out for the pot stocks. Now let's go to Palantir. Very quickly, we hit another 52-week high. I'll tell you where the pullback will be. Okay, 186.97. 190.90. 192.95. Don't hold your breath for price to get to this level on Wednesday, but if we do, you can expect a pullback as people take their profits and they run. As Marat said, they will lock in and they will leave. 194.91. Here's your middle of the trend. 182.68. 180.66, and your pullback 178.47. This is, it hit on Monday. That took us down to 182.17, went down just a little bit more. Boom, right up to resistance at 185.83, and then kind of went above that and then sold back. The last time I talked about it, price was at 179.54, and here is a pullback area, although we are moving farther away from it, but still something to be aware of. All right, and we've got other dips down here. I will clean that up later, but just be aware for whenever we have a pullback. Okay, that's Palantir. Now let's go check out Panw, Palo Alto on the 5. So again, these are Trader Marat's ideas here. Let me mark this out. So we gapped up. That means it will reverse to the red side, and that will take us here and here for the pullback. Let's mark out this. So he mentioned this to me on basically overnight Monday into Tuesday. So this is my first opportunity to chart this out, and too late. Look at that. It just ran up, but there will be, another leg up, and then we will close it to the downside. So that's your pullback. So the next leg up, you can cash out along here if that's your strategy. All right, what happened here? This is support, excuse me, and the buy-in. This is resistance and the sell-off. Sell-off here, here as well. Okay, and let's look at this on the daily because it's been forever since I looked at it. Here's a comment from, oops, I have to hit it at the right spot here. Trader Murat also talked about it here. So from this point, you had another opportunity, it pulled back, and then here's your slingshot to the upside, and then your pullback here. And now that I'm looking at this in the bigger picture, I see another pullback over here. Don't know if we're going to get there because we are in an upward channel on the 5. Here was your sell signal, and this is your buy signal for that, for the closure of this gap. Oops. Oh, no, this is done. Never mind, withdrawn. Okay. What happened here? Oh, why is this off? Huh. No, there's no gap here. I wonder if I accidentally moved this, and then I thought it was a gap, and I started to carry it over because I didn't look at it in the big picture. Silly me. Let me delete that. That. At least I realized the error of my ways, but there's a gap right here. This is on the daily, mind you. Maybe that, I don't know. Sometimes I start drawing things out and then I accidentally, so we gapped up. That means it's going to fill to the downside. Now, let me make sure here. Got to be precise. So that will take us to now. Oh wait, it is on here and here are some pullbacks. Oh, we've got another pullback area here too, but just look for the gaps, and that's where possibly we could be headed. But wow, look at this. I have tracked this for quite some time. Oh, one last one, very fast. Thank you, Murat, for pointing that out. Atnf. This ticker ran today. I bought this in 2021. I bought it on 2 occasions, 6/24/21 and 11/10/21. It's gotten basically nowhere. I've sold it a couple of times, bought it a couple times as well, but this is what we look like on the daily. It's a hot mess now because we've had 2 splits. And so this chart is off. So I'm not going to, I just wanted to show you the big picture, what it looks like here. We're still sort of going down on that, but okay, now that I've moved. All right, word came out that Peter Thiel with Pltr is part of an investor group who bought up 7.5% stake in Atnf. Okay, this is a life sciences company, operates as a clinical stage biotechnology, which engages in the development of novel drugs that fulfill unmet needs in inflammatory diseases, fibrosis, and pain by leveraging the combined expertise of blah, 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 whatever. I bought it as a life sciences company. Now they're converting it to an Ethereum type of company. Oh, I already deleted. So weird. TradingView had some information on this for news, and now it's gone. But anyway, take a look at this. Some sort of an Ethereum company, backed company, Ftnt, I don't know. It's just the weirdest thing that all of a sudden they're pivoting. It makes no sense. Doesn't matter. Peter owned PayPal, part of that company, and now Palantir, and Elon was part of PayPal. Like all these people like run in the same circles. It's crazy. All right, very quickly, then I've got to go. So we ended the day at 10:24. Okay, we ran up, I think, 212%. It was nuts. Nuts. So we're at resistance, so watch out. Okay, it's already starting to crack here. So your price target's 1077. 1254, 1418. The middle of the trend takes us to 741, 401, 239, and ignore all my previous markings because, again, I've been looking at this in the 18-cent range and beyond. And the last pullback area, make sure I line this up correctly, roughly 53 cents. Okay, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon now that we know who is investing in this company. Look at this basing and then a rip. You see that so often. And there was a gap because there have been 2 stock splits. Everything does not line up anymore for me. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that. It's just the luck of the draw that I had this, but still. Congrats if you ran it all the way up and then you got in, you got up, and you got out. Okay, that does it for me. That's a look at SPY, Palantir, Grwg, Ftnt, and Palo Alto, and Atnf. Have a great trading day, and thank you to Trader Murat for pointing out those 2 tickers for me.